Hi, welcome to Soul Space Studio. I am actually welcome to the cabin. This is the sanctuary. I've attempted to do this live, and my internet connection, which out here in the trees is satellite, and it's been really wonky, so the live wouldn't take. So we're going to just do it this way. Anytime I do any creating, I usually light a candle. So this is a candle. I've already lit it. I did it when I was attempting to do the live. And a smudge stick or an incense. Today it's the incense. We're just going to talk about the materials, suggested materials to create a gratitude journal. And I love keeping it simple. I love repurposing things. And so most everything you already have probably around your house. There are different ways to do things. I just encourage you to step outside the box and just let your creation go wild. Lately I've been seeing this post on Facebook that says, "Can we reset 2020?" And I just have to comment on that this is the reset. 2020 is a reset. And in Circle and in my communities, all through 2019, we talked about being prepared for the clear vision of 2020. And I just want to encourage everyone that might view this, or anyone that hears this, to not lose your center, to not allow that vision that you have to be blurred, to trust your intuition as we move through this. So last week I was at the grocery store to get some provisions, and on the way back the memory struck me of when I was run over and I was laying there dying, and I kept thinking, so the first important thing that kept coming to me as my memories were like going crazy was everything comes down to love. There's nothing more important than love. And the other reoccurring thought was, this was not how I thought I was going to die. And that memory came to me because I think I knew that something was coming. We all kind of sensed something was coming, a change coming in the near future. And I knew that we would be elevating up, that there would be changes to structures and, the stuff that we're seeing right now. But I never thought it would be like this. Not that when I was dying, I didn't really ever think about how I was going to die. It just wasn't going to be ran over by an 18-wheeler. And it was sort of the same thought process is, I don't know what I thought leveling up would look like, but it sure didn't think it would look like this, what we're going through in the world today. But it is that. And that clear vision, part of that clear vision that we've been working towards is to be able to know our true essence, our true divinity. Anytime that we think we are unworthy or we are not of divine makeup, that's the illusion. And so part of what we're going through in these opportunities that we have, because there are opportunities in what we're going through right now, is to remember, to reconnect, to resurrect our true essence, our true divinity. And part of our true divinity is love and gratitude. And both of those qualities are expansive. Like they dwell in the quantum fields. And so there is no beginning or end. They're just always expansive. So some people have said, I already have a gratitude practice. And then I encourage, then expand it. Go deeper with it. Bring it up even broader than what you have. One of my favorite ways to do my gratitude is through these fun little journals that I create just out of recycled materials. Like this is just a piece of cardboard. This one is from 2014, and I just clip it in there. This one was 2012. This was the first one that I had really created. It was was this one. Yeah. This one is tell me the story of how the sun loved the moon so much he died every night to let her breathe. Right, this one's from 2017. So this is what we're going to talk about. Today we're just going to talk about the materials that I use for these journals. And as you can tell, it is cardboard. So first thing you're going to need are a couple of pieces of cardboard. Yeah, and you could use paper if you wanted, a cardstock or something, but cardboard is one of the front and back of it. And then the creation part, you can use paint, you can use crayons. These are kind of what I call adult crayons. These are ones that, as much as I love my grandkids, I probably wouldn't let them color with these because I covet these crayons a lot. But even your Crayola crayons would be just fine. So crayons, colored pencils, anything like that you could spread color around with. And I like to grab paper. Now I have a lot of sheets of paper laying around, so this is one. I just grab a couple of sheets. I don't go overboard. And two pieces that look like they would go together or that kind of appeal to me. So I grabbed that, and I also grabbed this piece because this blue was really calling. So this makes more sense to me because this is typically what I would do, but on the intuitive level, this blue was like, I really want to participate in this. So I pulled the blue, and then what I do is I take the papers that I've got. This is what's going to associate my colors with, whether it be paint or pencil or crayon. And then I look for ephemera. What could go with both of them are just book pages. So I have this old book, and there's some lovely pages in there. And one of the things that I really, really like are that little scroll. So I tore this out. It had one on this side. I'd already torn it out and used it, so I'll use this scroll. I also like this kind of aged look on the paper, so I'll probably use that. It can go with either the blue or this. So pieces of paper from books, or letters, or junk mail, just something that has a design or a color that you like. Another thing I like to do is actually rip pages out. So I may just rip out a page, and then the fun thing to do with that is to look for, just take a little piece of it. I'll just do it. And what I would do in here is I would just probably take, there's this little one, it's called Birdseed Abundance. I would probably rip that, saving Birdseed Abundance. Because with this one, I thought, oh, birds, right? So this is just perfect. This is how you just go with your intuition. You just open it up and see what calls to you. And so what I would do with this is I would go through then and circle words or highlight words that would go with my journal, like bird and abundance. I love feeding the birds, which I do. And for me, that associates with, I know that the birds are grateful when I do that. So that's associated with grateful, handful, generosity of spirit. So there's all kinds of words in here that would go along with whichever color I go with. And then other ephemera. So stamps are a good thing to save or to use. Fortune cookies. This is from the top of a wee yogurt. What I liked about this was that it's blue. The writing is blue, and so it would go really lovely with this one. Yeah, and then I found some other little things like flowers. I love the red and that yellow with this blue. I love this butterfly with the blue. With the pink, I might just go with these little roses and this little tag that has the birds. And then I might even just write gratitude and 2020. So when I assemble my gratitude, it would be right there. Yeah. A couple of other little things that I'd found to go with it. So just finding little things and then using magazines. So anytime we do a journaling, like a new moon journal, I just encourage people out of your head, from your heart, just find images that you like. So this was one that came out that popped out to me. I love this rose, and I felt like this rose would go really beautiful again with this blue. So I'll put it with that collection. I know that that is something that I would use on that. Some other things that you can do is when you're flipping through a magazine or a book, just if you like it or if you hate it, just rip it out. If it draws you, rip it out, cut it out, whatever feels best to you, and just put it in a pile. You don't have to use everything, but you might find things that you just want to add to it. It doesn't take much as you look at these journals. It just doesn't take much. I did create her, then I stuck a butterfly up here. There's some paint. You can see the papers. Another little butterfly. These butterflies happen to come from a napkin that I had. So using napkins, again, more papers, a little tag. Right? Often I'll use a quote, so you might want to find a quote, maybe print it out on the computer and use it. This was a washi tape. You can see more papers. Here's a piece of writing out of a book, a little bit of book. I think this one was actually a dictionary, a page from a dictionary. Yeah, and so just collect things throughout the next couple of days that you might want to use, right? One of the fun things that you can do too with, like I might use these little angels. I loved this little thing, so I would rip out around here, find where to put it. I might actually make a little tag that's somewhat bigger than this and just write gratitude on it. Maybe I'll put a little tag in this angel's hands. So just get really creative. It's a lot of play. It's a lot of fun. You can look for words that jump out at you. Let's see if I can find one that's going to jump out at me real quick. See, I love that fairy. So I was like, yeah, that would be perfect. Let's see. So something like, this is how I do it. That right there. So I might use the words only for you in there. I might cut this out and use that. So it's really limitless. It too is in that quantum field. So you're going to have your cardboard, your pages, your colors, your papers and ephemera. And get creative with that. A hole punch, because you'll want to punch the holes in these if you have a hole punch. Your paints, your crayons, maybe something for water. You can just use Elmer's glue. I would put a little bit of Elmer's glue in here and some water, a little bit of water, mix it up. We'll talk about that on Monday. And use that if you don't have like Mod Podge or some other adhesive that you can spread on. And that's what's on this is actually glue that I use, this Elmer's glue watered down to kind of seal it all in there. And for the inside, oh, let me show you some of the inside pages. I did show you that one. Let's see. For the inside of the guts of it, I use scrap paper. As you can tell, a lot of scrap paper. I use envelopes that have come in the mail. If it was a particular sweet note, I sometimes write on the back of the envelopes. But if there was a sweet note or a card for my kids, I clip it in there as well. Yeah, so I use a lot of scrap paper, so you'll want at least 1 or 2 pages that you can actually write your gratitudes in. Now, if you don't have the rings, like these right here, the book rings, some of the things that you can use is a big clip. And I like to have a clip with mine anyways, as you saw in this one, because then I clip those cards in the back. You could use a hair tie. You could use a hair clip. You could use a rubber band, at least until you get a book binding ring, right? So that's how you can put your gratitude in and just clip it like that until you get your rings, right? And then another fun thing and that I like to do is I just get scrap ribbon and material, yarn, twine, and just hang it on there. So have fun finding your materials. It is just really a lot of fun to play. Underthink it. Some of the other things that I do want to touch on is the idea that you're not a creative being. Everyone is a creative being. We each get to create. We deny our creativity. And the same with relinquishing our freedom of choice. I will just encourage you, never relinquish your freedom of choice. You might not choose the things that are going on around you, but you always get to choose how to react and interact with that. And we are all creative beings. We get up each day, we get to create. What are we going to wear? What are we going to eat? How are we going to engage with the day? So I encourage people to stop denying that gift of creativity, to be a creative being. One of the other things I would encourage you is to work with the idea that it doesn't have to be ugly or beautiful. Like, well, let's just remove that altogether and just simply let it unfold and be. It is just cardboard. It is just paper. It's just pages from a magazine. It's just color, right? It's just designed to be fun and to house your gratitudes. Learning how to send your gremlins, the brothers gremlin is what I call them. I've named my brothers gremlin Guido and Luigi, and I often have to send them out to the coffee shop or to the corner bar. I know that those are all closed, but I'll just send them out to the bog and go splash around out in the swampy areas if need be. But I'm always sending my brothers gremlin out the door. We are free to create from a space of non-judgment. This is a non-judgment activity. And so it's just playing and enjoying that time to play. So there's that. And there are ways that we can get unstuck, and I'd be happy to share more ways with you. But one of the best ways to get unstuck is go for a walk in nature. Just go out and get some fresh air in your backyard, on your deck. Go to the park and walk around, or movement. Ecstatic dance, wild dance, just moving around is really important. And so what that does is it helps lift all of the stuckness within you. Everything is energy. Getting things energized and moved, heat it up, burn it off, move it out with breath and everything is so important. So if you're feeling those stucknesses, that's another way to do that. Be gentle on yourself. Drink plenty of water. So have water with you on Monday. We are going to gather Monday at noon to talk about gratitudes and begin the creative process. I'll show you how, the different layerings. It really is just having fun and remembering that there is no messing up. All right. I wish I could have done this live. Unfortunately, my internet connection again. Darn it. So reach out to me if you have any questions, thoughts, concerns. I hope that you will join us. If not live, on the recording of creating your own gratitude journal. The number 5 is a number of balance, and I'm always telling people 5 or more gratitudes a day. Writing them down, keeping it super simple, and we'll talk about that also on Monday. But just know that 5 or more a day. Blessings to each of you. Have fun. Reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns or ideas or thoughts or whatever's. I'm here for you. And we continue to meet online for Meditation Monday. So if you're interested in doing that, it's helped tremendously for my stress level during these times and also combating depression, for me anyways. And I can do intuitive readings if you feel like you need a little nudge to tap into your own intuition or to have some support or guidance. You can reach out to me for that as well. Okay, blessings. See you Monday.